everybody has a different preparation strategy. And as Sohaib has already told you that I was preparing for UGC NET again and again because I was always short of 2 marks, 1 marks or half percentage, 1% in getting my JRF, and I really wanted to clear it. So that's why I keep on, like, I was teaching also, and meantime as the paper was about to come, I started studying again because I was only like short of 1 marks or 2 marks, so I wanted to crack JRF so much. So this was my experience of it. So basically, first of all, the issue with me was like I was not good at maths and I was not good at logical reasoning. But later on, I realized these are the very scoring subjects. These are where you get one answer, and if you get the correct answer, it will be given full marks. Okay, whereas these topics which have been given here, less scoring, this is my opinion of this paper. So it's always up to you to how you want to prepare. So in the less scoring part, so I have written teaching aptitude or communication. So these were less scoring. Why was that? I will be talking about that, but let's talk about how to we can focus on getting a kind of a percentage to clear UGC NET or JRF. Okay, so keeping in mind, UGC NET percentage revolves around 60% or 62, 65%. Okay, so 60 to 65% is something you need to have in your paper 1 as well as your paper 2 if you want to crack UGC NET. And whereas if you want to crack JRF, it has to be above than 65% because the cutoff goes around 70%. So that is the stuff. Okay, so so in paper 1 from each unit you will be asked like 5 questions. Okay, so you'll be given 10 marks for each unit. So that makes you a little bit easy to understand what you need to do first and what is scoring, and then focus on the part where you have to get extra marks. Okay, so ICT, that is basically it revolves around the computer basics. So what is input or output in a computer, or what is monitor. So those kind of a very basic question are being asked in ICT, plus educational kind of questions are also asked in ICT nowadays. But then ICT question, I am saying it is scoring because if you are conceptually clear, because what happens with our generation is we know how to use computer. It's not very hard to like remember basics of computer. When you are reading it from any given source, you'll be able to understand it. So ICT is all about like you study the concept, you solve the question, you are done with the subject. You'll be getting at least 4 answers correct out of 5 if you have done that with great spirit and with your open mind. It's not very hard. Then mathematical reasoning and aptitude, data interpretation and logical reasoning. So these are basically where you need to like have enough of practice if you're not good at it. And especially in data interpretation, which is coming every year, no matter what, it has been coming from last 20 years in UGC NET examination. So it will be coming for 10 marks and you have to focus on that. And easy way to do that would be like solving previous year paper. There are 6 type of data interpretation which have been asked repetitively. So they'll be changing the units every year, but the pattern is between those 6 type of data interpretation which are coming again and again. So if you are solving last year paper, if you solve just the data interpretation out of it, out of last 12 year previous year paper, or you get a source somewhere, you join a course where you are getting enough question from previous year paper to like solve data interpretation question, that would be good enough for you. Okay, then you'll be done with your data interpretation. Don't ignore data interpretation just because you think you don't know and it's been long since you have done your maths, because you are law student, we were also law student, Arushi ma'am would understand this. So it's really hard if you have not solved any question from last 12 years and just you are given this data interpretation where some pointers have been given, some points have been given that needs to multiply into some points. So that seemed like a very hard task. But then because now you can switch on to your paper 1 again, you get extra time to complete your paper, so you can go slow, but you will be able to, if you have practice enough, you will be able to do data interpretation for sure. Then is your Comprehension. So comprehension, what happens is like few students are good at it at the beginning only, and few students need little more practice. In my case, I was fine with it because I was getting 5 out of 5 or maybe 5 out of 4. So I didn't practice it much, but then you have to see for yourself. So take a previous year paper again, solve it, and let's see how much marks you are getting, and then you need to decide how much you need to work on this particular topic. Other than that, so all the mathematical thing and Indian logical system which has also been introduced newly, so all those things you need to practice and understand the conceptual basic of it. Then research aptitude is also like a conceptual thing, and you take any book. So I studied from KVS Madan, where research aptitude has been given very nicely and it is easy to understand, and I was solving those questions. So that is these are 6 unit. That means this would include 30 questions. So 30 questions if you are getting correct, so that is like your 60% of the paper. Okay, so if you're very well versed of these all the subjects, and you're getting like maybe say 25 or 27 also, 28 out of these 30 marks, then all you need to focus is on the brownie points. Now from there is your journey from JRF. So then you have to do your like environment question, what are the type of pollution there are there, and so basically in environment and in higher education, GK awareness kind of questions are there which have been asked, and a kind of a repetitive thing is also going around. Like maybe they'll be asking you what are the institutions which are attached with Swayam, and what is Swayam and how it came into picture, that year and so. So these are general awareness sort of a question. And in environment also you'll be seeing such questions such as what is the like motive of India of getting how much of solar panel capacity by some year 2025 and 2030. So those kind of things. And if there was a convention, recent convention where India stated something about environment, so those kind of general awareness type of question you could easily see in your UGC net. So that is where you can like maybe apply your mind and make those notes about those awareness stuff. But then because this is so risky, so if you're reading something and what if they are not asking something, and they'll be asking a kind of a convention you have never heard of, maybe you didn't read it. So that's why I have stated these things in a less scoring topic, because if you're not very much aware of the kind of questions that are going to come, it depends on your luck also. So if you're lucky enough, then whatever you have studied, they'll be asking questions from that. What if they are not? So we don't depend on these topics much for getting good marks. We depend on these topics. We have to practice them very well. And let's talk about teaching aptitude also. So this unit was like kind of a enemy to me. I don't know. The more I studied and the more I was screwing it. So I didn't get any answer correct out of teaching aptitude until I started solving a lot of questions. So basically what happens is like you have your own character of teaching or own character of dealing with things. And in what happens in teaching aptitude, they'll be asking you, students are doing this and that in class, and what should be your response to that, what should be your reaction to that. So they are asking their own reaction, the kind of reaction UGC net would like you to have. So it doesn't matter what you're answering may be right according to you, but it could be wrong according to UGC net. So how do you get that aptitude? So you have to solve the question by seeing the answers first. Okay, this is what I did. I solved around 300-400 questions, and I was looking at the answer, what they want me to have a teaching aptitude. And I applied that aptitude, and slowly according to the pattern and according to the answer which is expected out of me, I started getting that aptitude. Okay, so then also after 5 I was only getting 2 or 3 answer correct, not more than that. And in communication also I failed terribly, because I used to like think that this is a very easy subject. Oh, communication, what matlab isme kya hi hai, you just have to see how to communicate, and this is the circle and that is the thing. but it was more hard than that. The kind of question they were asking were like, they were horrible and they were scary. And so that's why I have kept this in low scoring, because I was hardly getting any answer correct in communication. So that this was my recipe of success in paper 1, where and my highest score was like getting 34 answer correct out of 50. That is where I was able to crack GRF, not otherwise. So I was always getting good marks in law, and in paper 1 I had to like work more, because I was like lacking here and there. Okay, so this is my experience of it.